Hello guys, Alberto here. You're watching the Bedroom Rocker YouTube channel, and today we are taking a look at some bass sounds using the NUX MG-400. This is quite an amazing and very budget-friendly amp modular and multi-effect unit. I previously made a full 18-minute review of it, but of course I couldn't cover all of the sounds and features in a single video, and that's why I'm making a couple of follow-ups, including this one focusing on the bass. So let's start by taking a very quick look at the recording setup. Then I'm going to show you all of the amp model sounds, show you all the different cabinet IRs included, and finally moving on to the effects part, so including compressors, overdrives, EQ, and modulation. Finally, we move on to the review part. So grab a drink, sit tight, and let's go. The bass I'm using is the Sire Marcus Miller V7 Gen 1. I'm gonna keep it in passive mode only for simplicity, and this is plugged straight into the NUX MG-400, which I'm going to use as my amp, effects, and cabinet modeler. The unit is then plugged straight into my computer for recording, so I'm also using the MG-400 as my audio interface. The NUX MG-400 has got 27 guitar amp models, which of course you can also use with bass, but you only get one single bass amp model. This is based on the MLD preamp, which they have developed in partnership with bassist Melvin Lee David, and this is a pretty good starting point. It's a rather clean preamp with a 3-band EQ and a mid-frequency control. But of course it's quite limiting to have only a single bass preamp, and I would really like to see NUX expanding this offer in future firmware updates of this product. For instance, for the MLD preamp itself, they have already added 2 additional bass models that you can edit using the software, and these are based on the Aguilar Hammertone and on the Nordstream Audio Starlifter, which are both quite expensive preamp pedals, and I would really like to see their models added to the future firmware update of the MG-400 as well. Finally, I would also really like to see some Ampeg SVT models included. For bass cabinet IRs, the selection is much better, so you have 8 different cabinets to choose from, including 4x10s, 2x12s, and 8x10s from big brands like Ampeg, Aguilar, and Mark Bass. Compression is an important part of bass sound, and the NUX MG-400 has got 3 compressors that you can play with, and unfortunately I really don't like any of the compressors included. I really didn't manage to set them up properly. I don't like what they do with the attack of the bass, and also I feel the volume sometimes drops below unity gain, which really shouldn't happen. Then I already feel the sound coming from the MG-400 is quite a bit compressed, maybe due to the analog to digital and digital to analog converters and so on. So I really don't get the feeling that I need any additional compressor there, and I end up never using them. As you probably have noticed, the available MLD amp model doesn't have a lot of gain on tap, so if you want to get an overdriven bass tone, you have to either use one of the guitar amp models, which will typically have less bass but more gain available, or you can also add one of the guitar overdrives in front of the bass amp, which is what I'm going to do now. So I found a couple of the overdrive pedals sounded actually pretty good with the bass, some of them not as much, but that's definitely a valid solution to get an overdriven bass sound with the MG-400. Another quite powerful tone shaping feature is equalization, and the NUX MG-400 has got a 6-band and a 10-band equalizers that you can use. For bass, I would recommend to sticking to the 10-band equalizer, and of course focusing on the lower or mid frequencies, because the higher frequencies wouldn't do much for the bass. Let's hear the modulation sounds now. I think this is one of the strongest points. I really appreciate having 4 different models of chorus to choose from. They work quite well with bass. And I also really like the detune and the harmony. And then of course you get a bunch of other modulations like phaser, flanger, rotary speaker and tremolo that are more focused on guitar. So let me know your thoughts on the bass sounds and features of the NUX MG-400. Overall, I think this is a great all-rounder unit. It's going to enable you to get a pretty decent variety of good bass sounds out of it. And it's also great for recording at home and also performing live without the need of an amplifier and an effects board. It's also quite affordable, coming in at about 211 euros. But then if you are primarily a bass player, I would probably still not recommend this unit unless you are absolutely sure that you can get away with having only one and single bass amp model. So for me, I found one of the funniest things about owning an amp modular like this is that you can explore many different sounds. And as a guitar player, I have 27 different guitar amps to choose from. Some of them are really good. But as a bass player, you are stuck with the one and only bass amp model available. So I would really hope that NUX improves this in the future by releasing more amp models in a future firmware update. Because honestly, all the rest, so the cabinet IRs and the inbuilt overdrive effects and especially the modulation effects are all already great, and this would make for this unit a great bass amp modular. However, with the current configuration, I do believe there are better products out in the market that put a bit more thought into the bass player. So that's it for today. I really hope the review was helpful and fun to watch. If that's the case, make sure to leave it a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more guitar, bass and gear related content, also make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to stay tuned for future videos. Also, if you like what I'm doing here and you want to support the Bedroom Rocker YouTube channel, make sure to check my affiliate links in the description box down below. If you use them to buy anything, I earn a small commission, and this really helps me to get more products for making reviews like this one at no additional cost for you. So keep on rocking and cheers!